Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the broadcast. Name's Danny, and this time around we have a bit of a different matchup. It is of course going to be Movistar Riders going up against Team Spirit, starting things off here on Nuke. And honestly, it's a very fast push here on the upper bomb side. So far so good here for Team Spirit. They are able to find the necessary kills to stop the Movistar Raiders. However, Davkos, that is some great positioning from him. He should be able to find one and the second one to boot. This is looking like a very solid round here for the Team Spirit boys. They pretty much have secured themselves this round already. I really don't think Mixwell is going to be able to get anything done in this position. This is just looking horrid for him. You can take a look at him here in the outside area. He's looking towards here, towards T-spawn, hoping to find a kill. Maybe one player will peek into his crosshairs. Oh, Mixwell. Is he just holding the angle? I would presume he's just holding the angle. Don't think he's tapped out, or yes, he is. However, he's in this position. Certain that doom will be upon him relatively shortly, but apparently he will be able to survive to keep that armor into the next round. But obviously, it is a 1-0 lead here for Team Spirit. So, that was a very effective push there for Team Spirit. They pretty much, from the get-go, decided to push on the upper bomb site. They overwhelmed the two defenders, I think. There were only two players, if I recall correctly. They're able to get those two kills, pretty much from that point onward. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, not a single player to stop them. The retake, well, or shall I say the two players that try to go for the retake from Radio get absolutely shut down by Davkos, and that round is pretty much over. Here though, oh, that's a cheeky angle from Soaker. Might just be able to find a kill here. Good headshot from him. A second one to boot. Soaker, that is some great shooting. Though I must admit, even though Team Spirit do end up losing two of their players early on here, this doesn't necessarily mean they're out of this round just yet. However, oh, is that is one of the players here? Mixwell, I didn't notice how he made his way out of the outside area all the way to the T-spawn. And right now, this is just looking like a horrible scenario for Team Spirit. If at one point it was looking pretty good for them, this is going to be a very difficult clutch here for Cole. He needs to find the first kill. He does so in flying colors, but he is on very low amounts of HP and almost able to mop this one up. That's going to be the round here for Movistar Raiders. I mean, we saw some early aggression coming out from their side, and it looked so good. Not only did the guy in Radio do his job by only getting two kills, if I recall correctly. Soaker was his name. Then we saw Mixel with the big flank finding the necessary kills and damage on the Team Spirit players. That was very well done there by Movistar Riders. Here though, you do get to see that the economy has been reset for Team Spirit. The obvious choice at this point, you have to go for Nico. We see some of the upgraded pistols coming out to play. The P250s, the Glocks, the standard weaponry. But obviously not looking too good here for Team Spirit. This should be an easy round here for Movistar, but I don't think Lovell realized the very simple nature that one of the players has it looks like some of them in a position to actually plant the bomb. And oh, he gets spotted out. So no bomb out here for Team Spirit, but I can't really say that was of great importance. You can still see that the players have got a decent amount of money in their bank. They're going to be able to have somewhat decent investment. You could say there's a bit of a lack of utility, but overall it is still looking like a pretty good investment. You have the AK-47s, that's one of the most important things to have. Looks like Davkos has decided to stick with the UMP. Of course, with him having the UMP, the SMG, he will have extra utility to work with. Coley does find a very nice opening here on Alex, and it looks like Sotvik will be able to overwhelm Mixwell in the outside area. This is looking like some solid stuff right now from the Russian side. With those two kills coming in so early into the matchup, they got so much more room to work with. They don't necessarily have to commit to one of the bomb sites just yet. If they do feel like it, they can actually try to get some of that map control because it is interesting. Even though they have been able to find the two kills towards outside, we saw that one of the players decided to play pretty aggressively there, but now Dima pushes in the wall top. This is very crucial fights happening here. Plays Lowell, a good spray from him, and he almost wins the round single-handedly, but it's a good thing that Sotvik was able to stop the madness, but that was so sick there from Lowell. that's what happens. That's what happens when you walk through a very tight choke point, like we saw it happen right there. It's a very good thing that Team Spirit were able to close it one out, but that was way too close. Alright, Team Spirit. The players have decided to play this one relatively slowly. Not be going for any ballsy plays as of yet. Going for a bit of a spray, hoping to find out the player there, but there's really no one there in the outside area, it seems like. They have decided to play this one slowly, Movistar Riders. Previously, we did saw a pretty aggressive push from their part. Here, things are being taken a much more cautious approach. And obviously, same goes for Team Spirit. They themselves aren't really committed to one of the bomb sites just yet. They realize the very simple nature that they still have a decent amount of time left on the clock. But even though one of the players hasn't been able to sneak past for Secret, can he actually find the kill here? And Mixel is making a lot of noise, and Mixel will get the better of him. And it looks like this is where Team Spirit will probably not commit to the bomb site. They were really banking on the fact that Sofik will be able to push through, but with that kill working out for Movistar, this isn't really looking too good for Team Spirit, so it's not going to be a commitment on the A bomb site. They seem to try to go back on the B side. They have taken full wrap control, but they are making a lot of noise. It is pretty obvious what's going on here. Mixwell, he's got a very good angle there with the AUG. And obviously Team Spirit will have a very difficult time to continue on with their push here, but it's still looking pretty good for them. They might just be able to plant the bomb in this position with the smoke grenade being thrown out. Obviously it's being deployed. Mappa's though very close, but not close enough. Still looks like Team Spirit can actually pull this one off. Alex with the UMP, just tapping away with that SMG of his. This is now looking pretty bad here for Dafcost. He's got the Galil, not the best weapon in Counter-Strike, but this doesn't realize his position. And yes, finally Lowell will find the kill on Dafcost, but at the end of it all, that was still a bit too close for comfort. As we can see, on the back of Movistar Riders winning that round earlier, they've now reset the economy here for Team Spirit. So it's pretty obvious what Team Spirit have to do at this point, because the economy has been reset. One good old-fashioned eco, and they will be able to get back to the game. But for now, it's only going to be the mere pistols. Some of the upgraded pistols, a Deagle in the hands of some Young, Locks coming in, 50s of course. But overall, it's still not looking like anything a lot that Team Spirit have got to work with, but that's a very good nade from Alex, I think. Throwing down the silent with some serious damage on Team Spirit players, and of course, because they don't have any Kevlar, the HE is quite the powerful adversary. Here though, it looks like Dima has been able to sneak past the siege defensive, but it's not going to matter too much. It's still going to be the 4th round here for Movistar, and as we do get to see Team Spirit, yes, they're very much back into this one. They've got themselves a very good looking investment. The AK-47s have been deployed. Let's see this. Somewhat decent amount of utility. But we haven't really seen Team Spirit trying to go for all-out outside smokes. Maybe this will be the round where they do decide to change things up a little bit, and because 3 of the players are making their way towards outside, that seems to be about right. Smoke grenades have been deployed. They're making their some very fast progress here towards Secret. Mixel may not anticipate them to be that close, but with that Molotov being thrown out, this will deter Team Spirit players from pushing any further. They need to wait for the Molotov to fade out, to extinguish itself. And now it looks like the Russians will continue on with their push here. They must still be very careful. Mixel's going to be holding the headshot angle, but with that Molotov, yeah, he's going to have to back away. He has to back away from that angle, and there's still one more player here. Making a lot of noise here, Team Spirit, so I think Movistar Riders will begin to realize what's going on here, that this is in fact a push onto B-bombs, and Dima doesn't realize positioning of Mixel, but Dima with the spray transfer, he's able to get 2, and now with Dafcost finding that kill, like Team Spirit, they've opened up the round. But do they really want to commit to the B bomb site? That's really unnecessary. In fact, they will change things up. They're heading back on the A site. It's a good thing for them there's not a single player here in the upper bomb site to deter them from planting said bomb. And yes, that Molotov will obviously stop a guy like Lowell to pushing up through the vents. That is very risky. So here, this round is pretty much over for Movistar Riders. There's really nothing Lowell and Alex could do at this point other than try to save their guns, and if they do save their weapons, that's actually a pretty good idea. If they're going to be able to save their weapons here, then with that being said, not too bad, Alex. They still have a somewhat good investment. It's just that they have to try and survive this one. Yes, Lowell. So he will be able to stick this one out. He will keep that the AUG into the next round. Okay, some pretty good looking investments still from the Movistar Raiders side. As we saw earlier, they have actually kept a decent amount of buck, so it's obviously quite understandable why they have such a good looking investment coming into this 8th round. For now, it doesn't look like Team Spirit are going to be going for a full-on outside play as we did see them try to do it earlier. They do have a player on outside. I don't really think, who was it? Yeah, it looks like it's Sotfik there, but he's only deploying the smoke grenades. Maybe to keep the CTs on their toes, but not really going for the push just yet. Right, Team Spirit. There's the smoke grenade being around. I'm almost certain this will probably be an A-side hit, or in fact, no, I'm being mistaken. This is a fake here on the upper bomb side. In fact, the real push is happening here towards Rampant. But you can see Soaker. I think you realize that there is a push taking place. He's going to be needing his teammates as soon as possible right now. I think the bomb has been spotted as well. Alex will find Sotfik. Coley being very quick on his feet. Now yes, that's a very crucial kill to find from Coley. The kill working out for him. Team Spirit have got themselves full bombs to control. Coley finding his 3rd one. And this is a round over for Movistar Riders. There's nothing they can do at this point. That was such a solid stuff there from Coley to find those free kills, and pretty much single-handedly he stops the push here from the Spaniards. There's really nothing they can do at this point other than, well, again, try to save their guns here. That's the question. Can't even try to save them because Someday Young, oh, that's some poor timing. That is some poor timing. Oh man, poor Someday Young. It looked like he should have been able to win that fight, but can Coley survive? Oh yes, apparently he can. Yeah, it looked like Coley is able to survive in that position, but apparently not. That's a shame. That is quite a shame. Anyhow, a pause is taking place. Not really sure what's the nature of this pause, but because this has been quite a back and forth affair, I wouldn't be too surprised if it is in fact maybe Movistar Riders picking the pause. That would make sense from their part. But because this is still early days in the matchup, I wouldn't be too surprised if this is just a pause from maybe, what I'd say is technical nature from one of the teams. That would make more sense. I mean, this is still early days in the half. It's still very hard to say which team will have the better half in this sort of first one. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it's in fact maybe Spirit or even Movistar Raiders having a technical issue. Like I said, it is a bit of a shame that we don't really get to know what nature the pause is just taken. We just know that the game is paused and that's about it. It would have been nice to have more of that insight. Team of Spirit are now taking outside control again with the smoke grenades, but I think there's a bit of a gap in the smoke. That's why Davkos has got the 8OP here, and yes, he's trying to find the kills here, but it doesn't look like he's able to get anything done just yet. It does look like one of the players is still playing in the mini garage, and there's also in fact 2 players close by the CT spawn. We do see Alex in this position, with him having the AUG, he can hold this tight angle. Now it looks like Team Spirit will anticipate. Hey there, Mamba through the smoke grenade. That's some great stuff to find that angle there, but the smoke grenade ends up fading. He will die in that position, and now Team Spirit, they have to recover the bomb, and that's going to be a bit of a more tricky affair. Mixwell in mini. That's not an angle you're going to be anticipating too often if you're a terrorist player, but that's something you're going to have to be aware of. Yeah, this is smart. Spirit going to keep things safe. They're going to throw down the smoke grenade. Crucial find for D1 Fine. And still looks like a lot of trades going on here. Davkos knows the position of the player. And now he's anticipating. Oh, or he's not. He's not anticipating. Mixwell Does he not see the player there? It looked like he might have been able to spot him out, but he's playing this one very safe, maybe a bit too safe there, and Mixwell finds that kill, but obviously he will be overwhelmed by the end of it. And oh boy, that was a very close scenario to the very end. I actually thought that Mixwell was going to try to push on through the smoke to try to get one up on Dafkos, but now he decided to play it safe, and maybe he should have risked that position. If he would have gone for the risk, it is pretty obvious that Movistar Raiders already had a pretty difficult standing in that round. I think it was a 2-on-3 scenario, so if he ends up pushing, maybe he might just be able to put his team in a winnable position, but it didn't really work out. And here, it's a simple push here from Team Spirit straight up on the upper bombs and not even waiting any minutes. As a straight up push, and it has worked out. Not a single casualty, which means that that's going to be a pretty good thing for the economy of Team Spirit. And this right now seems like it will be a 4-6 scoreline, with Team Spirit having 6 rounds on the board and Movistar with only 4. And obviously, yeah, 6 rounds on the terror side of Nuke, that is quite a lot of rounds. They can be very proud of their achievements so far, Team Spirit. But obviously, because this is still the very first half, still in contention to even acquire more than just the 6 rounds. Well, that's very interesting that Lowell, Mixwell, and Alex decide to save their pistols to the very end. That is a very interesting choice. I kind of see maybe one of the reasonings behind it is that they didn't want to die to the terrorists, which actually makes a lot of sense, because even if you end up dying in a scenario like that, if it's an SMG, the opponents get $600 from the kill. If it's from a rifle, it's still $300, so I guess that's one way to deny your opponents from easy money, so to speak. A simple push towards the outside, but this round Mixwell was anticipating such a play to happen. It takes the off angle, which does mean he's good for one kill, and the Molotov. That is, I think, a Molotov that should have been thrown out by the CTs, I would presume. Maybe, in fact, it was Sofig throwing down Molotov right behind him to make sure not a single CT is going to try to hunt him down, and this round it seems to be again going in favor of Team Spirit as they are taking bombs to control. Roll right now, peeks in, gets one kill on Dima, not too shabby. Tornado. If that would have been Someday Young planted the bomb, that would have been a deadly grenade. But that's obviously Dafkos in that position. I think his teammate Alex is making his way through Secret, but because he's taken such a long time, he's going to be a bit too late to the party. I think this is, again, such a situation where Alex just has to try and save that gun of his. That seems to be the most logical assumption at this point. He's got the AG in his possession. Movistar Raiders have got barely any money on City side, so yeah, I think it's just going to have to be a save. And with that save, right now Team Spirit have got 7 rounds on the terrorist side of Nuke. That is ridiculous at this point. And the thing is, they're still in position to actually get even more rounds. Movistar Raiders, I think they've... Let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Oh man, I don't really get to see it, but I think Movistar Raiders have actually reached maximum lose money bonus, which means at this point, every single time they're going to be losing a round, they will get themselves free pass to $400, so it does make a lot of sense. Try to go for the partial investment here, but guys like Alex and Mixwell already being soft enough, and that's interesting. Mixwell is in the mid garage. Looks like someone actually got a wallbang on him. Molotovs being thrown out. But no real aggression here from Team Spirit. Thing is though, if they're not going to be taken outside control and they're really heading over towards radio, they must be very careful. Not too long ago, we remember a scenario in which I think it was actually the second round of the game, where Movistar Raiders with only the mere pistols were able to win a round against Team Spirit because they were going in through those tight choke points with all 4 players. And here, it's looking a bit better here for the likes of Team Spirit. They still put themselves in a very winnable position, but they haven't really decided to go on the B side, it seems like. There's guys like Sotfix still holding things out towards outside, hoping for a push to happen from Movistar, but that's not really the case. Soaker recovers the AK-47. Slowly but surely he is shifting towards radio. It might just be able to get a kill on one of these Team Spirit players, as they have decided to go back on the A side. So much trigger discipline from him, but he will find that kill on Davkos. And right now, if you really want to commit to the bomb side push, Samdayang needs to get into the fray as soon as possible. Listen, they're anticipating him to come up from the heaven. He needs to come up huge in this position to get some things done. Samdayang sees the player in the smoke. And yes, Samdayang and Satvik, they will be able to stop the madness. But that was, again, a very close round between the two teams. It truly could have gone either way in that position. Soaker denying the Molotov there from Team Spirit. There's some early grenade damage. I do wonder where that grenade ended up landing on the head of Davkos and Dima. But now I guess this is a good opportunity as any. Let's take a look at the positionings here from some of the CTs. We do get to see that there's only one player actually towards Secret. That's in fact Mixel with the 8 OP. Right now, it looks like Team Spirit will yet again try to take over Secret control. If that's really the case, Mixel is going to have to do some very heavy lifting in this position. He should be good at least for the one frag, obviously. Oh no, he's not good for a single frag. Apparently, Dima just rips his head off clean, which means that Team Spirit can simply continue on with their push here on the B bomb side. It seems like there's only one player there on the side itself, but Mopos? Oh, he's hoping to see a player there. He sees the headshot. He wins the fight against Satvik. But I'm not really sure if this will be enough. Movistar, good job there from Soka. Quick refrag there from Samdayang. It looks like the bomb will be planted in a pretty open position. That is going to be favoring the T side quite a bit. And obviously they still have some of that utility remaining. That's going to be quite crucial here for the T side. But so does Lowell. He has a smoke grenade, but actually throws down to the wrong position. He's hoping for the bomb to be planted right behind the wall, but that's not really the case. Samdayang, that's a great game sense from him. A third kill to the round for Samdayang. He's able to prove himself in this position. It looks like he wants to try to get more of these kills, but he's already done his job. He doesn't necessarily have to try to go for it, but obviously having a mini ace is always a very nice thing. Lowell will run into the loving arms of Davkos, it seems like, but decides to back away, and yeah, that's going to be the 9th round here for Team Spirit, and this is like some very solid stuff. Like already, between the two teams, there's only a 2-round difference, meaning that, well, Team Spirit, they've done such a solid job. Like, they could be very happy with the 9 rounds they've acquired so far, but that's the thing so far. The first half still hasn't ended, so we could just see an utter dominance from Team Spirit here. Maybe even getting the whole 11. That would be very sick from their part, but obviously you're a fan of Movistar Riders. You want to try to see them acquire as many rounds as possible here on the CD side. Satvik definitely taking his sweet time to see the player there, and Davkos finds a kill for the smoke, and already do you see Team Spirit getting things in their favor. In the past 20 or so seconds, they found 2 massive kills, and not sure why Coley decides to take such a steep jump. Probably would have been wiser to actually jump on the bigger container there, but he only ends up losing 23 points of health. Guess that's not too bad. Bombs control here for the T side. You gotta be able to plant the bomb any moment now, and Lowell alongside Mopos. There again, just stuck rock in a hard place. You see that Lowell's gonna try to maybe save that AUG of his. I think same goes for Mopos in that position. And that's the thing, I mean, this is a very bad scenario for Movistar Riders. Them being on the CD side on Nuke, you obviously want to try to acquire as many rounds as possible, but because their economy has been in shambles for what seems to be the majority of the rounds, I mean, they must try to save up even some of these, shall I say, bad weapons, well, bad weapons in the form of MP9. The AUG, yeah, if you're low, you gotta save that gun. That's crucial at this point, because I think if they're gonna keep their weapons, they should be able to drop their teammates. Was Was he still in the vent room that whole time? Oh man, he ends up dying to the bomb explosion. That's a huge shame for the Spaniards. And here, the last round of the first half, Movistar Riders going for somewhat of a solid investment. They have the AGs coming into play, the couple of MP9s, Soccer, and Mampas. Overall, that's going to be, again, a straight-up push here on the upper bomb side. It seems like Team Spirit not giving a damn at this point. They know that they're feeling confident in this matchup. They're just showing it as with these simple pushes on the upper bomb side. If anything, that's going to be one of the faster rounds here of Nuke I've seen in a while. And that's going to be it. 11 rounds for Team Spirit and Movistar Riders. Right now, they're going to be playing on the terrorist side, the obviously harder side of Nuke. So it'll be interesting to see whether Movistar Raiders will have a similar performance to what Team Spirit showed us at the very first half of the matchup. So it begins. Movistar Riders, looks like they're going to try to go for a bit of a fast push of their own. Already pushing on the upper bomb, so it looks like this is horrible for Movistar. Someday Young is doing such a solid job at finding the kill, so does Davkost. And it's all up to Alex in this position. He sees the feet of Davkost. Obviously the bomb is dropped in a very difficult spot. Dima, yes, he will land the kills there, and the shots on Alex, shall I say. And that's going to be the 12th round for Team Spirit, a crucial pistol round being picked up. And Movistar Riders, for them, yeah, this is simply back to the good old-fashioned eco. Don't really have the proper money to invest. Well, they can always try to go for the force spread, but that is a very risky move. So they do decide to play this one safe. They want to try to have as best of an economical advantage as possible by having the rifles. And poor Alex. Well, we found out with the MP9 of Sotvik, in fact, even see Someday Young picking the Shoddy. He has been utilizing that weapon of his for pretty much the majority of the time. We do get to see him play on Nuke. Like, he will not necessarily have the rifle. If he has an option to pick between the SMG and shotgun, more often than not, he will actually play with the shotgun and in the close range quarters, that is the upper bomb side. That is a possibility because you do have two tight choke points, the door one and the hut one. So obviously if you're going to be standing on top of the hut, you've got a very good visibility to actually look on the two choke points and, well, rack up some easy kills with the auto shotty. 13-4 right now. Movistar Rider is going to try to get this round on the board if possible. They're slowly but surely shifting towards the outside area. To be more precise, I think they're going to try to make their way towards Secret, it seems like. A couple of the players are already towards the red container. That smoke grenade is going to allow them to cross safely, it seems like. This is still a good possibility for Movistar to get this round on the board. As we do get to see the weaponry here for Team Spirit is looking pretty lackluster. We have two of the players on SMGs, one of them the auto shotty, and Davkost with the scout of all weapons. Definitely heard the footsteps. He tries to get the flank in, but maybe there should have been a bit more trigger distance on this side. And yes, Dima, the first man to fall, and actually Someday Young with that scout of his does find the kill on Lowell. I think if you're a Team Spirit, you're almost going to try to go for the retake at this point. There's really no need to try not attempt it. You've got so much rounds to work with. You got loads of money, but no, they actually decide to save up their weapons. That is very interesting. I really didn't expect this from Team Spirit. I was already hoping for them to try to attempt the retake. They had 3 of their players already on the ramp, so that looked like the obvious choice. I mean, you're already on the ramp, the bomb has just been planted. Your players have got, well, shall I say, player does have the defuse kit. It still is a good possibility for you to win the round, but I think they realized the very simple nature. In a 4-on-4 retake, the odds are stacked against them, so they will give it another shot. But for now, yeah, they're going to allow the Spanish to get themselves the very first round here on the terrorist side of Nuke. a pretty slow start for both of the teams. Though we do get to see one of the players outside from the CTs who is in that position. Is it, oh, that's in fact Sofik now. He's back in the mini garage. But I think at one point I actually saw him close by the red container. Looks like even he decides to play this one relatively safe. But obviously, you know, the MP9 isn't the best weapon to have. It's outside. Mopa's very close to getting the wallbang damage in some of the In fact, it does 47 points of health on damage, so not too shabby. That is in fact a powerful weapon. I'm very sorry, Sofik, that I've ever doubted you in that position. Is able to find 2 good kills with the MP9. Movistar surely shifting, finding the kill. Looks like Movistar going to continue on with their push here. Something's got the auto shot yet, and he finds the headshot in that range. And there's Davkus with the scout kill. That's now 14 rounds for Team Spirit. And Movistar, well, this is quite a difficult scenario. You have 2 of your players who are not looking that great in the money department. It looks like in order to even out the money, they decide to go for the force buy, and force buy the AK-47 is being picked up. 2 of the players on pistols, and in terms of utility, it's not looking that great here for Movistar. Looks like Mopa's going for the wind dive. He is successful. He only ends up losing 3 points of health, and I'll call it a very successful vent dive. Though it is very interesting that even though he still has $800 to work with, he doesn't buy nor an armor, nor an better upgraded pistols. That's very interesting to know. Even though his other teammates do go for the force buy. Right, Sofik hoping to find something from the smoke, but it's going to be very difficult as obviously the smoke grenade is blocking out the vision. Coldy though, oh man, Coldy, I think he didn't anticipate Mopas to be there. Sofik does some damage with the M4 and some great damage. And now it's all up for Dima to actually clean things up. He's doing a very solid job at it with the AUG. He finds 4 kills. He stops the Movistar offensive, and that will be now 15-5. In which, in this scoreline, we do get to see that the Spaniards, they got barely any money left. In fact, no money at all. And this means that they have to go for the force fight. This possibly is the very last round of this entire matchup, so they must invest, and as far as investments goes, it is a very lackluster one. You got an SMG, some Mopas, the other 4 players going with the pistols, and early nade damage in the outside area. So yeah, this is looking very difficult right now for Movistar. Sofik, he's got the M4 when that's out. That's, I'll say, a much better weapon to have in holding outside than just an MP9. Right, the 2 only teammates that are landing. I think that was actually ends up hitting the shot, if I see correctly. Or was that actually from the nade? I don't really know. I think it's not going to matter too much. Now, great shots from him. He's able to find the kill on one of these players, but obviously Dallas getting the wraparound on Coldy means that they have an AK-47 in their possession. I think at this point, if you're Movistar, I wouldn't be too surprised if they end up going towards the B side. However, with a whole minute to work with, they can still stretch out the timer. There's really no need to be committing to one of the bomb sites, but because some of the Team Spirit players are trying to get the wraparound in, I think there's actually something coming in from Secret. They're going to have to be very careful in their approach. Zoker does get the refrag there in Dima. Still 3-on-3. Sofik. Actually, no, he's not going to be going towards Secret just yet. He's just going to be holding the garage area, which is also a very smart angle to be holding in this position. His teammates, I'm not really sure why his teammates are constantly peeking these shots, just peeking the angles, and they've now put themselves in a very winnable position here, Movistar. It seems like they're going to be able to pull this one off. The bomb plant going to be happening here on the upper bomb site. I think Sofik realized that, yeah, this probably isn't a B site hit, even though he is now ramp, it seems like. Uh-oh. Poor Sofik. He's got no idea about it. I think once he realizes, yeah, he's just going to take the AWP. I think he's just going to try to book it. And looks like a pause is now being taken. That's very interesting. I'm not really sure which team has decided to take a pause in this position. Because I think if you're Team Spirit, after losing that one round, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to be trying to go for a pause. I mean, you still got so many rounds to work with, so I don't really see the necessity of taking the pause as of yet. Sure, if you end up losing a couple rounds in a row, that's a more reasonable position, I'd say. Or maybe it's in fact Movistar Riders taking for the pause. I actually saw one of the matchups. Now, let me think. I think it might have been on Train. If I recall correctly, I think it was Csgo playing against Movistar Raiders. And I think in that matchup, Csgo were up 13-2 on the CT side of Train, if I remember correctly. And somehow Movistar Raiders, they were even able to pull off a serious, massive comeback. So maybe they're going to be able to do it here as well. Sonic were down, spraying things through the smoke, but has some decent damage being dealt. Coldy right now, he's been quite the nuisance earlier in this position. So I think with them having the flash grenade, they should be able to flash him off, but they still go in for the dry pick, which means Coldy will at least get one more kill. Mixwell, though, very quick on the trigger, will get the better of Dima in that position. And Mixwell, he's gonna be running out of kill. Davko's just crouching into position. And this is looking good for Movistar Raiders. Looks like they will have another round on the board. It's gonna be 7 for them. We'll be able to plant the bomb in this position. And I think Sotfik, Sotfik will have a difficult time on the retake. And I think that's one of the main reasons why he's even thinking of saving his gun. He's heading back towards C-spawn, spinning that knife of his. And he doesn't even want to be a part of this. That's actually very good. If Sotfik will be able to save the M4 here, it means that Team Spirit, they still will have a purchase. Guys like Dima can buy Davkos as well. I think Sotfik will be able to drop his teammate a gun. So yeah, it's actually quite imperative for Sotfik to keep this M4 into the next round. Well, 15-7 is the scoreline. It's still looking pretty good for Team Spirit, I'm not gonna lie. As they're, 8 rounds up in comparison to what Movistar Riders have to offer. And obviously, if they want to try to get this comeback going, one of the ways to do it is obviously by getting 8 rounds in a row and reaching overtime. Not an easy journey, I'll give you that, but it's definitely a possibility in our game of Counter-Strike. Here, though, we do get to see guys like Team Spirit, in fact, actually going for the save. That is very interesting. From their part, I was actually anticipating to actually go for the force buy, but they do decide to play this one safe. Actually, I do respect that. That's very well done, Team Spirit. More often than not, teams will be going into sort of this level of Counter-Strike. Teams will be going still for the force buys, hoping to get the one-up on their opponents. But Team Spirit, they're playing the long game. They realize they've got so many rounds to work with, it ends up making just sense to save some of that. Alex finds Davkas for the smoke. And again, I mean, if Team Spirit end up losing this round, which seems to be very likely in this position, Sotfik again can just try to save that M4 of his, and the other players can try to get exit frags with the mirror pistols. Taking over lower bombs control Movistar. It looks like they won't have any issues whatsoever actually planting the bomb in this position. There's not a single Team Spirit player close by, and this is gonna be another round for them, it seems like. And that's actually pretty good, I mean, for Movistar. What they really need at this point is just try to get consecutive rounds in a row, and I mean, in a game of Counter-Strike, comebacks like this are possible. There's no other way of putting it. You just have to go round by round by round, and sometimes, and some teams are definitely able to pull off such amazing comebacks. Is Movistar Riders one of them? I think it's still a possibility, you can't deny it. There's always a chance. A slim one, for sure, but a chance nonetheless. Yeah, looks like all 5 players are surviving from Movistar Riders, but I can't really say that's really too comparative for their cause. The very simple nature of the economy game right now is that they need every single round in a row, so losing a couple players is not going to matter too much, as at this point, when you lose the round, you lose yourself the game, so losing a couple players, not too bad. You've got the bank up to prove it, but obviously, round difference is only 7 rounds between the two teams. But now see Team Spirit making a pretty solid looking investment. You see a guy like Someday, he's not going to be going for the standard AUG or 4 meta. He wants to buy that auto shotgun. And what do you think? Where is he playing? Yeah, obviously in the blue hut. Oh, that's actually a very good nade from one of the Movistar players. And the Molotov as well. Looks like they've probably studied the demos of Team Spirit and anticipating the player to be there. They've already pre-naded him and Molotov him out of position, and a second one coming in. Man, the good thing there for Someday is that the HE grenade actually was blocked by the wall, so it didn't do a single point of damage, even though it was right behind it. Ooh, a shot there from Dima. A supposedly kill happening early on towards ramp, it seems like. The remaining Spanish players are here in the outside area, but I can't really be for certain where they're going to be committing just yet. I think, yeah, there's Sodvik finding the kill there in Soaker. It would be nice from the cameraman. There we go to actually take what's going on here in the outside area. Mixwell getting his blade spraddled. And now it's all up to Alex in this position. Yeah, that's a good flank there, Alex. He finds the kill there on Daft Cost. But it's pretty obvious at this point. With the bomb being dropped there in the middle of nowhere with 20 seconds remaining, Alex will have a very difficult time here in the retake. Well, not the retake necessarily, just trying to plant the bomb in this position. 15 seconds. He knows that there's one player in the garage, and they're actually giving these fights for Alex, so maybe he can actually get something done out of this one, but it is very difficult nonetheless. So that's going to be a victory here from Team Spirit. They showed us a great terrorist side and somewhat decent CT side, and yes, on the back of it, they have been able to acquire the victory, and they do secure the nuke. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It's been a quite interesting matchup between the two teams, and that's gonna be it. The name's been Sir Danny. I'm actually gonna link my Twitters. I actually don't really have the Twitter link right now, but obviously it's at Sir Danny with 2 N's and 2 Y's. I think it's actually exclamation mark caster in the chat, in fact. Yeah, there we go. If you actually want to try to give a follow. But anyhow, guys, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. The name is Prince Danny. We still be broadcasting some more MDL stuff tomorrow. And of course, guys, see you all next time.